good morning.
Good morning. Great morning. It's a little bit rainy most places in the world, but it's nice and dry here.
That is absolutely right. Look, we spoke last week about Houston and the incredible flooding they were facing there. How is the recovery looking so far, and how is the government handling it?
Well, the government's handling it pretty well, but it's not looking good, to be quite frank with you. The city's really underwater. The damage was much more extensive than people anticipated because the water stayed so long with those repeated rains. And anytime timber and water come together, and sometimes a little bit of salt water, it makes things pretty bad. So roads are impassable, houses can't be occupied. It's really another Katrina, except on a larger scale.
And now, incredibly, there's another massive storm on the way. Florida has declared a state of emergency thanks to Hurricane Irma, the strongest Atlantic Ocean hurricane ever measured, bearing down on them. What's going on?
Well, we had another hurricane come after us after Katrina. That's not uncommon, but one of this scale is quite uncommon. And for some years now, weather forecasters have said that the number of hurricanes would slow down, but their intensity would increase and their proximity would increase. That is, one after another. And in my recent book, I said that the real climate change we'll see is series of events, like, for example, Italy. What is this, the third set of earthquakes in the last 2 years? So these events are compounding one another, not giving you any time to recover.
Look, we're seeing sort of two once in 100-year storms in a week after all. Can Donald Trump and the Republicans keep dealing with the aftermath of these events like we have recently here in Australia and keep denying the science of climate change?
Well, they may be in denial, but they will suggest this is Mother Nature acting out maybe a 300 or 400 year scenario, whatever they want to say. They're going to come up with a rationale for preparing for it. It'll be no different from the climate change rationale, except they'll say we're doing it because Mother Nature is acting this way, not because we're doing things that are making it act this way. So I would anticipate they will cut down on carbon. They will start building things in very different ways, and they'll do 90% of the things that the climate change legislation suggests globally, but for their reasons, not for the reasons given before. And at some point, I would say, even if this guy can stay a 4-year term, the United States will be back into the climate change agreement.
Now, you mentioned last week funding might come down to recovery for Houston or Trump's infamous border wall, which Mexico was going to pay for right up until they weren't. And now Americans will have to foot the bill for the wall. Now, with Houston, a bill for Houston's recovery now passed, and quite possibly more damage in Florida. How is that looking?
Well, there may be a wall, but it won't be in that location. First, seriously, a wall would prevent Americans from going to Mexico, or the Mexican army coming in as it has to save Americans. So that's not a very good idea. Furthermore, a wall would build up water behind it and create even more serious flooding. And we saw some of that with some of those walls falling down that bent to buttress rivers and the like. So I anticipate the wall not being talked about just now. They'll be talking about many other measures to keep illegal or unwanted aliens from coming. And of course, DACA is one of those, which will send a flood of people back to Mexico.
Yeah, let's talk about this program. Donald Trump has ordered the dismantling of a program, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, installed by Barack Obama. It protected around 800,000 young people in the States who were brought into the US illegally as children. Now, deferred action meaning those in the program received a renewable 2-year period of deferred action from deportation and eligibility for a work permit. What's happening?
Well, this is one of the things he promised his base, to keep the Mexicans and other people, aliens, from competing for American jobs. It doesn't make much sense because these people are taxpayers. They do have jobs. Generally, they're welcome in their communities. It'll probably cause more uproar among Republicans than Democrats, simply because a lot of these people are in the South doing the kind of jobs that Americans don't want to do, working in retailing, shining shoes, doing all kinds of things. But others are college graduates at this point, doing very important jobs around the country. So we'll see American business coming to the aid of these people. They'd be a boon actually to Mexico to have these well-educated people come back, those that are adults. I think this is going to dribble on, and Canada will receive these people with open arms. This is another one of these deals where Donald Trump thinks he's winning his base, but he's losing everyone else.
Well, actually, talking about that dribbling on, Trump is kind of washing his hands of it. He's put it in Congress's hand, but Obama, who many have been waiting on to make some kind of statement condemning Trump ever since Trump got elected, he's finally come out swinging over this one. So what do you make of that?
Well, I think Obama is tired of this, being blamed for things. He's tired of these failures. He left a country that was in pretty good shape. The economy was going well. We're at peace in the world. There are diplomatic envoys everywhere, including Russia. So I think Obama's saying, now this man is tearing up my legacy. I've got to step in and do something. And the Democrats don't have anyone to do it. Hillary is basically playing grandma. She's written her book and she doesn't seem to be willing to do anything else. Bernie is spent, so he has to step in to protect his legacy and to give some energy to the Democratic Party. It's unfortunate. When they need all the energy they can muster, they don't have very much.
And pretty astoundingly, Trump's undercut his own party by siding with Democrat leaders on a deal to fund the government and raise the federal debt ceiling for the next 3 months, stunning Republicans and even members of his own administration. Where is the Republicans and Trump's congressional agenda right now?
There isn't any agenda. The agenda is survival at this point, just plain old out survival. They don't really know what to do with this man. He didn't consult the Congress when he took this action, but now that he's declared it, of course the Democrats will go along with it and the numbers will be there. Trump is Trump. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's Trump. And I said at the inauguration there's going to be a parting of ways between the Republican Party and Trump. It has occurred. He's not joining the Democrats. He's just being himself. And that means he's a loose cannon. God help us if we have a war.
Ed, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your time, as always, getting you on this week.
Well, we've got more to talk about next week, I'm sure. Another hurricane. And no matter what you say, Trump will come up with something that's controversial in 7 days.
Absolutely, mate. Ed, thank you very much.
Thank you.